If you've been on this channel for a while, you know that I was doing my degree, I was doing my dissertation, then I did another degree, then I did another degree after that. I volunteered for social work, I wrote a book, I made courses. I'm now planning a full-fledged wedding for myself, all while having a social life. If you're having a burnout and you're wondering, how do I keep it all together? How do I manage so many different things? Let's say there's college, there's an internship, there's your social life, there's budgeting, there's family work, there's so much going on, right? This video is going to make it all so much more easier for you. First things first, I want you to ask yourself, every morning when you wake up, do you just wing it? Do you think, okay, today this is what I'm going to do, but what if I do this instead? But oh my god, this deadline is coming up. Is that how your days look like? Or do you have a clear schedule that you follow? For the longest time, I was the former person. I was always confused about what I'm going to do today. I was always winging it. I used to go to college. I used to come back and think, okay, today I have time. Let me sit and film a video. And as you probably guessed, my life was all over the place. Compared to now, when I literally have my life on autopilot, I do not have to think about what am I going to do, when am I going to do it. I literally have to put things on my planner and they're done. And before I even jump into telling you about what I did, let me tell you the biggest game changer is going to be your phone's notes app. Alright, let's jump into the video. Point number one is you are going to have your short-term and long-term goals on point. If you think you're going to follow everybody else's path, you're right now in college, you're going to get out of college, you're going to do an internship, you're going to get a job, and then that's your life for the next however many years, that's not something you're going to do. I want you to have fixed, clear short-term and long-term goals. Every week I write down my short-term goals. Now you can write down your short-term goals every week, or you can write them down every month depending on what works best for you, how much time you need to accomplish those things. These are goals that I want to accomplish that year. As an example, I want to film 3 new videos this week. That is my short-term goal. My long-term goal is I need to write a book. Now that you have your long-term and your short-term goals, we'll break it down into very actionable steps with dates assigned to each step. Now I'm not saying you have to follow this to the T. Yes, there will be times when, let's say, reaching a certain goal takes 2 weeks later than 2 weeks earlier. That's completely fine, but you will have a good idea as to how and by when you want a certain thing done. Every month on the 30th or 31st, I want you to do a big picture review. This means reflecting back on everything you have accomplished in that month. Now, as I said, I like to have weekly goals. I also like to have monthly goals. Depending on whatever you want to accomplish, this even motivates you to accomplish more, because no month goes by when you don't have a goal. That also creates a very positive self-image of yourself in your own mind and heart. So would 100% recommend that you do this. But every month you look back and you feel proud about what you've done, and you start putting in action steps for the next month. Point number 2 is you're going to establish a routine. When you wake up in the morning, you want to have a fun activity or thing to do. You don't want to get started straight with work. Now this could mean joining a dance class, it could mean reading, it could mean literally anything that puts you in the groove. Any activity that makes you want to get out of bed. If you straight away jump to work, your day will just be very monotonous with no highs and lows. It's just going to be boring, and that leads to burnout. Might as well spice it up, especially when you do it in the morning. You have such a nice pace for the entire day ahead. Speaking of routines, you will also establish a nighttime routine. Now this means a wind down routine. I like to keep 5 p.m. as my wind down time. After this, I do not like to work, so then I'll spend time with my family, I'll spend time with my dog, I'll spend time watching a Netflix show, whatever I want to do. I'll do an everything show for that matter, but I will just try to take that time out and not have any kind of professional commitments for that time. The point is, do not schedule any kind of professional commitments unless very necessary for that time. Do your nighttime reading, do your nighttime journaling, do your nighttime skincare. Write whatever you want to do, write it down. Writing it down is so powerful. If the notes app doesn't work for you, if Notion is not something you're hands-on with or do not want to spend time learning, use a piece of paper and write it down. Next up, you're going to declutter by spending 10 minutes tidying one area every single day. On Mondays, it could be your kitchen. On Tuesdays, it could be your cupboard. On Wednesdays, it could be your study room. On Thursdays, it could be your bedroom. On Fridays, it could be your bathroom. If you don't want to have such big areas, you can just take one cupboard. You can then take your dressing table. You can then take your drawer. Whatever capacity works for you, you will start decluttering. One thing that I've noticed with Indian households is we have this habit of hoarding, and we keep on collecting. Honestly, this isn't even an India-specific problem. It's just everywhere. Every week, make a pile of things that you want to donate, or you want to resell, or you want to gift to your friends. You also want to take out some time to reorganize a space. So let's say your bedside drawer is a complete mess. You've just stuffed things into your bedside drawer, and truth be told, most of us have a very cluttered bedside drawer. Open that drawer tonight before sleeping, take out everything and reorganize that entire space. Your head will feel so much more clear once you've done that. If you've ever experienced this feeling of mental clarity, leave a comment down below. I would love to relate and know your stories as well. We talk about self-care all the time, but I've heard so many people say, oh, but when do I have the time for self-care? And really, if you don't have the time for self-care, you are doing something wrong. If there's one thing I know about myself, and I'm sure a lot of you would relate as well, is sometimes we're not consistent, but one day when we sit and do a certain task, we'll finish all of it. Has this ever happened with you? Because that for sure is my personality type. So now instead of doing a face mask and doing a bubble bath and all of that every single day, I have a dedicated day of the week to do it. So every Sunday at night, I will for sure do a full-on self-care routine. I will take in everything, shower, I'll oil my hair, wash my hair, condition my hair, use a body exfoliator. I'll do all of these things. Speaking of which, even with your school, college or your professional tasks, if you're falling behind, if you're not able to catch up, take out one day to catch up on everything. In fact, even go 2 steps forward. Let's say you haven't been keeping track of the syllabus, you've missed certain classes, take out one day, read everything, learn everything, and then also go 2 steps ahead so as to read the next 2 chapters. Next up, to-do lists and time blocking. Now, I've spoken about these in the past, but I just had to share these again because of how important and how massive life changers these things are. If you're comfortable using a certain productivity system that works for you, amazing. Let's say your Notes app, right? I used to use my Notes app for the longest time until I shifted to Notion, which is such a blessing. I wish Notion was sponsoring this video, but they're not. But I still want to tell you, it is such a revolutionary app, and it's a free app, and they don't have any ads. It's amazing. I have my own Notion planner if you'd like to check that out, which has sections for literally all areas of your life. You can literally use that as your second brain. You can dump everything that you've been thinking about on that Notion planner. It has sections for all areas of your life. So to-do list, habit tracker, budget tracker, self-care check-in, movie tracker, literally everything that you would want in one place. So your life is entirely organized over there. Another thing I really like to do is I like to assign a certain time of the week for a certain activity. So let's say I want to answer all my not so urgent emails. I'll schedule 1 hour every Monday to do this. So that way I know that in my calendar, this 1 hour is blocked for this activity. And when you have things like replying to emails or messages which are not very important, which are not professional, especially which are more kind of for your friends and family, those activities I feel you can even start romanticizing. So you can go to a cafe and you can answer those emails or those messages. You can do it while you're out for a walk. Just try to jazz things up for yourself. Speaking of jazzing things up, we're also decluttering your workspace. This is especially for all my school and college going girlies. I want you to get a nice workspace organizer. You get these organizers with different sections for your pens, for your scale, eraser, sharpener, whatever. If you go to school and college, you want to carry a pencil pouch or a pencil case with you where you have different segments for different things. I used to be so organized in school and in college as well. I used to carry like a whitener, I used to carry different kinds of pens, a blue pen, a black pen, I used to carry a scale, I used to carry like literally everything that you would need. I was the kid who would also carry a glue stick. If you're somebody who works a lot online, I would highly recommend getting yourself a tech organizer. I like to have like basic things organized in place so that I know what something is used for and I'm not confusing and I'm not sort of losing my things here and there. That's just not my strong suit. So organizing all of it really helps. Speaking of tech, I want you to take out one day of the week to get all of these things in order. Starting off with your phone, you want to organize and arrange your home screen in such a way that you have folders for everything, so you don't end up scrolling here and there. The moment you open your phone, you don't have a lot of visual clutter on your phone. You rather have separate apps for different things. So on my phone, I have a social folder, I have a YouTube folder where I have my voice recorder, I have the YouTube app, YouTube Studio, YouTube Music even. I have a productivity folder where I have Gmail, I have my Outlook, my bank apps, Notion, my Fitness Pal, all of these apps that I use. And I also have a travel folder where I have Uber, BlueSmart, Ola, even the weather app. I have my family's location on Find My, I have my screen time going on, and that's about it. I don't want to keep too many apps on my main screens. I don't want to look at all of them because not always do I want to use them. I want everything organized in a certain way so it's easy to find. The same thing will also be done on your laptop. You want to organize folders into different areas of your life that you're trying to manage. So for example, for me, it's my content, it's my family business, it's my education, and it's my wedding planning. So I have these 4 folders on the right hand side of my laptop screen. To give your devices a fresh look, we're also going to change the wallpaper. So your phone, iPad, laptop, change all wallpapers. Next up, open Instagram and start unfollowing accounts that you haven't engaged with. Instagram has this brilliant feature where you can see which accounts you haven't engaged with in a while. Unfollow all of those accounts. And step number 2, unfollow accounts you do not relate to. Personally, I've even unfollowed a few people who I feel just drain my energy. They could even be content creators. Another thing that you want to do is to set a timer on your phone for social media apps. So I've set a timer for YouTube and for Instagram, which is 15 minutes a day. To be very honest with you, I'm usually ignoring that timer. I do have to change that to about half an hour because a lot of my work is dependent on Instagram and YouTube, and 15 minutes just go by uploading a reel. But this really helps keep your screen time in check. Next up, we're talking emails. Declutter your email. Unsubscribe to websites that you do not want to read. If you find yourself constantly deleting mails from a certain website, unsubscribe. It takes probably 5 seconds, but it will benefit you for life. You will not have an inbox that you do not want to see. My inbox used to be flooded with emails, so many emails that I wouldn't even read them. They were all unread, and I had like thousands of emails in my Gmail inbox until one day I literally cleared all of it up, and now I have probably like 200 emails and I answer them on time. I even have folders in my Gmail ID. I used to have a folder for college work, I used to have a folder for office work, I used to have a folder for content work. The same thing you also want to do to your Google Drive. There are tons and tons and tons of spreadsheets and Word documents that you might have written back in the day and you don't need them anymore. Clear it all out. These tools need to be your friends. They should not drain you. So anytime you open any of these platforms, let's say Google Drive or your email, you should not be flooded with unread things or things that you don't use anymore. It should all be clean and clear. And finally, clear your phone and delete the duplicates. A lot of the times, and especially all of my friends, I don't know why they do this, they will take the camera and then they will keep on pressing the button. That's how you get 5,000 photos in your phone and not a single moment to delete them. Those photos are not going to go away on their own. You will have to take out some time. You will have to select them and delete them. That is why I said you need to take out a day to do this. Alright, now speaking about physical clutter, stuff that you can see. First up, we're subcategorizing all of the mess that is around. I get a lot of PR packages to try out, and I also try out a lot of clothes, because of which my walk-in wardrobe is always a mess. And while it is a mess, let me be honest and tell you, it is an organized mess. I have subcategories for skincare PR, I have subcategories for makeup, I have a subcategory for my outfits, I have a subcategory for gifting that I have to do to others, and then I have a huge basket in which I have all of these different categories. So even though I'm not currently treating this area, whenever I get another PR package, I see what is inside and I put it into the relevant subcategory. And then when I'm unboxing all of this or I'm trying out the new clothes, that's when I will unbox and unwrap everything and keep it in its designated actual space. But until then, they're not just lying on a random chair, they're not just lying on my bed, they're not just lying on the floor, they have a place for themselves. Next, let's organize your diet and meal planning. Now, I would 100% recommend consulting a nutritionist so that they can have this all charted for you. If you don't want to consult a nutritionist, you're happy with the way your diet is going right now, I would recommend for one day write down the meal plan for the entire week ahead. So this means, let's say Sunday, you write down what you want to eat for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. Every Sunday, continue and write down a fresh meal plan for yourself so that when you're getting ready on Monday morning, you don't have to think about what am I going to have tonight for dinner. You already have it planned. Now, needless to say, there will be exceptions. You will go out and eat, you will order in, that's all fine. But at least on days when you can make your life easier, why not do it? Next up, let's organize your budget. Now, there's no easy way of doing this. The best way that I have found for myself is to use a budget tracker. This is the one that I myself have created on Notion. There are separate categories for each kind of activity that you're doing. So if you're hanging out with friends, there's a separate category for that. Once you put in these expenses, you can even see how much you've spent in the entire month on food activities or on going out with friends and socializing kind of activities or on family obligations and stuff like that. It really breaks down the entire thing very beautifully, and it makes the whole process of budgeting so much more fun. And it also has a separate section for things that you might want to buy later on. So if you want to budget for something, you want to account for something, you can start putting that there as well as the amount. Just the entire process of budget tracking becomes so much more easier, and it's all in one place. Now, I know budget tracking is very personal. Some people do it, some people don't do it. If you haven't started doing this and you want to give it a try, once again, the link to my Notion planner is down below. You can go check it out. If you're not somebody who's into it at the moment, you can avoid this point and just skip to the next. Wardrobe. Okay, we're talking fashion now. I would recommend start off with a capsule wardrobe. We all have tons and tons of clothes. If you're not resonating with your clothes, you're not feeling confident in those clothes, build yourself a nice capsule wardrobe. The best way to be organized, especially if you're short on space, you have a narrow wardrobe, you want to create multiple looks, but you don't want to get tons and tons of clothes, capsule wardrobe. I do have an entire free workshop on how you can build your own capsule wardrobe, and I will leave a link to it down below as well. It's a free workshop. Just type in the coupon code while you're checking out and you can watch it for free. The basic idea behind having a capsule wardrobe is that you're not wasting your money buying tons and tons and tons of different things. Instead, you're saving up and you're buying really good high quality pieces that will last you for years and years to come. Now, if all of this still seems a little tricky to do and to get started with, here are 3 easy things that will help. Number 1, next time you find yourself mindlessly scrolling, try to go onto Pinterest and make a vision board for yourself. You can make different kinds of vision boards for different kinds of things. There is so much power in visualizing how you want your dream life to look like. Why not do that? Similarly, when you're doing a mindless task, let's say you're cleaning your room, you want to play something motivational in the background. It could be of any creator you follow, any creator, any kind of video you like. That's how you'll also discover new creators, but it needs to be something which will help motivate you. I want you to also create a bucket list for yourself, a life bucket list. This is not restricted to your week or your month or your year. This is for life. If you want to travel to a certain place you've always dreamt of, let's say New York City, put that in your bucket list. If you want to learn a new skill, put that in your bucket list. If you want to do paragliding or parasailing, put it in your bucket list. If you want to quit your job and become an artist, put it in your bucket list. This bucket list will serve as your motivation to get you up and running to achieve those goals. And to achieve those goals, you need to get organized in your life. While you're doing your digital decluttering, I also want you to take a little while and unsubscribe to channels you don't regularly watch. Go on and find new channels. Follow channels that you actually enjoy watching, that do motivate you. That's how you tweak the algorithm, and you tell YouTube and you tell Instagram that this is the kind of content that I want to watch. Do not give me content that will not serve me. So my dear girlies, this is your reminder to start taking life a little bit more seriously. Get up and pick up 3 things from this video that you are going to implement right now, and tell me what those 3 things are in the comment section below. It could be downloading Notion and starting a digital planner. It could be decluttering your drawers. It could be creating a meal plan for yourself. Whatever it might be for you, I'd love to know about it in the comments. That's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this very comprehensive guide on how you can get more organized in your life and manage all areas of your life very beautifully. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and leave your comments down below, letting me know what other videos do you want to watch. And if you're new here, I would love for you to join our family, subscribe to the channel, because I do make a lot of such videos helping you level up. I'll see you very soon. Till then, bye-bye.